Hello, America. Welcome to the Glenn Beck program. I remember as a kid, I used to watch Star Trek with my dad, and I used to have to lay on the floor like this because I was the TV remote control. My dad would just say, turn it to 7. And then I'd get up and turn it. I'm definitely not a uber Star Trek geek or anything. But do you remember episode 77, The Savage Curtain? Yeah. You know, it's been 42 years ago this month that this aired, but I don't know this stuff by heart or anything. Love this, the lava rock guy. Kirk, I've brought you here. Do you remember this? This is the one. This is the one where Abraham Lincoln somehow appears on the USS Enterprise, and then they have to go to this planet where this lava rock comes to life and forces Kirk and Spock and Honest Abe to do battle with Genghis Khan and some other really bad people from history. Somehow they made it, to the planet with the talking lava rock. I never really questioned that part. Because the lava rock wanted to see which philosophy was stronger, good or evil. Watch.
You have failed to demonstrate to me any other difference between your philosophies. Your good and your evil use the same methods, achieve the same results.
Yes, yes.
You seem to use the same methods, but you achieve the same results. Good versus evil.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking back on this, it might explain kind of my lack of childhood friends. But I thought of this today because I thought that lava rock thingy was onto something. Good versus evil. While we don't have Honest Abe or James T. Kirk. This is the battle that we face today. Not left versus right, not Republicans versus Democrat, but good versus evil.
And that's why I brought you here tonight, to pit the two against each other. Come with the lava rock guy.
Oh man, I just bet Erin that there's no way she could get all that carpet lint off me in 5 seconds, and she did. Congratulations, it's good to have the wee little Erin back. All right, hello America. The days of playing left and right, they're over. We have allowed ourselves to become pawns in someone else's game for power. This week, we will be breaking a story that is breathtaking on this program with audio and videotape of what I believe is, can I say it's not I believe, it is economic terrorism?
You can absolutely say that.
Economic terrorism. People on tape planning the overthrow of this government. There are those people that are plotting the destruction of our economy and banking system, and we have them on tape. We'll bring that story to you later this week. Don't miss a single show. Tonight, I want to set up that it is not just left. It's not the people that you're watching for. You're being played. It is good versus evil. And I can see the headlines already from the George Soros blogs. Glenn Beck says healthcare bill is evil. No. Obamacare is terrible. It's an economy crippling bill, but that's not what I'm talking about. You've probably seen the headlines making the rounds today featuring this guy, Louis Farrakhan. Now, you can call him crazy, whatever you want, but he is not irrelevant. There is no denying the fact that this man has a following. He was the one who rallied, they say, 1 million people to Washington, D.C. I don't know if it was 1 million people, but it was a huge crowd, huge crowd. CBS, I hear, estimates it's 87,000. Yeah. But whatever the number, this guy has a huge following. Now, we've learned that it doesn't take a huge following. It really only takes 19 people to inflict great damage on this country. In the last month, Farrakhan has talked about how the 12th Imam is currently living among us. He told America, this is your day of doom, predicting that the uprisings in the Middle East would come to America. Watch.
So don't you get bent out of shape with what you see happening there. While it's happening there, you better prepare, because it will be coming to your door. America, this is a sign that the great Mahdi that the Muslim world has been looking for is present in the world.
Okay. He was saying this to 19,000 people in Chicago. Now, this is the same thing. The last part about the Mahdi is the same thing the Iranian president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, believes, except he doesn't believe in the Mahdi.
Good versus evil.
He believes in the 12th Imam, the Mahdi and the 12th Imam. These are the people that believe in the Mahdi. Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, Louis Farrakhan, 12th Imam, 12ers. So dangerous that the original Ayatollah Khomeini banned them. Ahmadinejad believes in it, and the Ayatollah Khomeini, the current ruler in Iran, believe in the 12th Imam. If you look at the Mahdi of the 12th Imam, he really is the biblical Antichrist. Now, why is it a bad thing that these guys want the biblical Antichrist? Because we all know that no intelligent person believes in the Bible. Yeah, do we now? We don't care if these people, if you believe it or not, because these people do. And these people believe that the way to bring the Mahdi back is to create chaos. Anybody think it's a good thing to have Farrakhan lining up with Ahmadinejad and the Muslim Brotherhood? No, no. They can speed up the end times by creating chaos. And again, it doesn't matter if you believe in Revelation or the Bible or the end times. It doesn't matter. They do. It's the exact opposite. They believe that America is the great Satan, the Antichrist. Now, if you look at the Mahdi and how he resembles the Antichrist, it is breathtaking. Remember, we're talking good versus evil, and you don't have to believe in evil. In fact, I think evil would prefer it that way. But I want you to watch Louis Farrakhan speaking on a Chicago radio station. Now, this was about the president. You've heard the headlines or read them. Farrakhan to Obama, who the hell do you think you are? But there's more to this, much more. I'm going to play it in its entirety because you need to hear every word of it. Watch.
What about Libya?
Mm-hmm.
See, how much money is being spent to arm the so-called rebels? Mm-hmm. They're dissatisfied. Well, what is their dissatisfaction about? Do they have jobs? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do they have food? Yes. Mm-hmm. Has Gaddafi used the oil money to build Libya? Yes. Did Gaddafi use oil money and discover water under the Sahara Desert and brought that water to the surface and brought water from Benghazi all the way to the border almost of Tunisia? Did he impose farming in the desert so that they could feed their own people? Yes. Are there billions of dollars that he's spending building homes, building apartments for his people? Yes. So something is under this. And so when America, England, France, three imperialist powers want to destabilize that country, is it that you're so concerned? Now listen to this hypocrisy, American people. Is it that you're so concerned over the blood that is being shed in Libya when you look the other way when the Israeli Defense Force was bombing the innocent people of Gaza? Unarmed men, women, and children, but our government looked the other way? You looked the other way when the Israeli Defense Force went into Lebanon thinking that they were going to have an easy victory? Then you had to come out with your tail between your legs? Don't tell me and wise black people or white people that you're interested in black suffering. Where were you in Rwanda? Where are you in the Congo? Why did you go to Darfur? Because oil is there. No, you don't want to save the Libyan people. That's your noble motive to hide your wicked agenda. Now, I want to warn you in the name of Allah that this is more complex than what you think. Go into Libya if you want to. The Libyans do not want foreign occupation on their land. And when you make that kind of move, if you're not careful, you'll unite the Libyan people against you. And again, Gaddafi wasn't sitting in any tent twiddling his thumbs. over these last 10 years. This man has been investing in African development. This man has been moving throughout Africa. This man has friends all over the world. He may not be your friend, but if you take him out and kill him like he's some rotten fella that wants to kill his own people, what did you do in Waco? What did you do when your people rose up? Did you talk them out of it? No, they had weapons, you bombed them. What did you do in Philadelphia with the movement? Did you talk them out of their home, or did you bomb them? We didn't hear any outcry from you religious hypocrites that love the lives of human beings. You're a liar and a hypocrite. And I warn my brother, don't you let these wicked demons move you in a direction that will absolutely ruin your future with your people in Africa and throughout the world. They don't like the way you handle Mubarak. They don't like the way you're handling the situation in the Arab world. So I would advise you to be careful and move with wisdom and skill. My advice would be, why don't you organize a group of respected Americans and ask for a meeting with Gaddafi? You can't order him to step down and get out. Who the hell do you think you are? That you can talk to a man that built a country over 42 years and ask him step down and get out? Can anybody ask you? Well, there's a lot now going to ask you to step out of the White House because they don't want no black face in the White House. Be careful, brother, how you handle this situation, because it is coming to America. It has already started. Look in Wisconsin. Look in Ohio. Look at what's going on in your country and remember your words, because the American people are rising against their own government. It's not Muslims, it's not black people, it's white militia that are angry with their government, and they are well armed. Are you going to tell them, put your arms down and let's talk it over peacefully? I hope so. But if not, America will be bathed in blood, not because Farrakhan said so, but because the dissatisfaction in America has reached the boiling point. Be careful how you manipulate the dissatisfaction in Libya and other parts of the Muslim world.
Okay, remember, this man is not a nobody. Again, 1 million people, and he is good friends with Gaddafi. Here you see him with Gaddafi. Do they have jobs? He says yes. Has he spent billions on his people? He says yes. Well, he makes Gaddafi look like Mother Teresa rather than a brutal, evil dictator. He just wants to feed all the children and give them a little bit of chocolate, and he spends decades just trying to make the world and Libya a better place. It's weird, because the Gaddafi I know is responsible for the bombing of a Berlin nightclub. In the 1980s, it was a hot spot for U.S. servicemen. 2 servicemen died. In '88, he blew up Pan Am Flight 103, which exploded over a Scottish town, Lockerbie, killing 270 people, mostly Americans. In '96, Gaddafi ordered the mass killing at a prison. Up to 1,200 prisoners were slaughtered. Gaddafi continues to detain, without due process, women and young girls in social rehabilitation facilities for breaking moral codes. Gaddafi reenacted the cutting off of hands punishment for thieves. He also initiated the brutal slaughter of innocent civilians in Western African countries of Liberia and Sierra Leone during the 1990s. And by the way, he also backed the invasions and launched a campaign of terror designed to scare the countries into compliance. How did they do it? Warning, very graphic. They would cut off the arms and the body parts of random civilians, scare them into place. Then the soldiers would play a game. They would bet on the sex of the baby inside of a pregnant woman. Then they would cut the fetus out of the woman to see who won. That's Gaddafi. Currently, 1 out of every 3 people in Libya are living in poverty. Gaddafi, however, is not living in poverty. Oh no, did he spend his billions on his people? Yes, said Farrakhan. No, says Glenn Beck. Estimates are ranging as high as $40 billion. The richest person in the world, to put this into perspective, is only worth $53.5 billion. So I can see why Farrakhan is so high on Gaddafi, as is the President Obama's former minister, Jeremiah Wright. His generosity is truly inspiring, and I love that little game he taught his soldiers. It's only taken him 42 years in power of this oil-rich nation, 42 years to achieve this utopia. Evil. Call it by name. It is evil. But he said more. He said England, France, and the U.S. Why? He called them imperial nations. England, France, and U.S. You don't think that there's any uprising in England or France, is there? Remember what I said. I said there's real problems in Europe when you take the radical left and you combine it with the radical Islamic society. When you put those two together, it is on fire. So now we have England, France, and the U.S. Also, we look the other way from Israel. I'll give you that story in a second. It's all for oil, and it's a wicked agenda. He warned us that this situation is more complex. May I give you the same warning? He said he has friends all over the world. What does that mean? Because I know I've seen pictures. He's obviously a friend. What does it mean that he has friends all over the world? He talked about Waco and the religious hypocrites in this nation. I know I spoke out, and I know all my friends spoke out about Waco. He called Americans wicked demons. I should say he called white people wicked demons. It, again, is all about race. But he mentions Wisconsin and Ohio and says it is coming and the nation will be bathed in blood. Wait until I show you what we have found in the next couple of days. Hope to have it ready for you tomorrow. Because this is coming, and there are people that are planning it. Let me show you what happened since we last met. Remember, this is only in a couple of days. We have the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Barack Obama, launching Tomahawk cruise missiles at Libya without getting any approval from Congress and without speaking to key Democrats about the strike and without giving any reason as why we needed to start essentially a third war, key here, with a Muslim nation with England and France. I know there's one senator who should be upset with this. He told the Boston Globe in 2007, the president doesn't have the power under the Constitution to unilaterally authorize a military attack. Thankfully, the media is all over this. No, they're not. Maybe they're all over the fact that this is a war for oil. No, they're not that. Well, at least we see all the protests of not in my name and war is not the answer. No, we don't see that. But we are seeing a little bit of Yemen about to collapse. Why aren't we going there? Soldiers are defecting. Al Jazeera has been booted out. In Saudi Arabia, they're protesting for the release of prisoners, and somewhere Van Jones is applauding. Syria's unrest is also heating up. Thousands took to the streets this weekend to protest corruption. Bloomberg is reporting that the fast-tracking of Egypt's elections will most likely benefit the Muslim Brotherhood. And Mohammed el-Baradei, the guy who the media praised as a hero to the Egyptian revolution, but who said we would just be viewed as another American-controlled leader, was attacked outside of the polling station in Egypt, likely by the Muslim Brotherhood. They don't want another American figurehead. Gee, who would have seen it coming? They shoved him and smashed his car window as he left, threw rocks at him. Palestinian militants fired more than 50 rockets into Israel on Saturday, the heaviest attack in 2 years. The media barely reported it. Even with Sarah Palin being in Israel, the media in America just can't find the time to squeeze out a single story about Israel and how Israel is in danger. Maybe they're not doing it because 10 armed men attacked reporters at a Reuters office in Gaza. They took away cameras after they spotted reporters filming a protest they obviously didn't want reported. Nope, that is a story in and of itself, but nobody seems really willing to tell it. And wait until you hear what Benjamin Netanyahu said. These are all the things that has happened since Friday. Wow, can you imagine what a whole week will do? Benjamin Netanyahu and so much more when we come back.